Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to MindShifters Radio here on Earth Angels Radio. This is Carol. Michael and Jeanie are traveling today, so they will not be with us, but I'm here, and we have David with us. Hi, David. How are you?
Doing fabulous, Carol. I'm just checking with this connection to see how is that. Is this any better?
A little better. Can you hear too?
It is breaking up. It is, and so now I'm just, how's this sounding to you?
It's a little breaking up too, but go ahead and let's see what we can do here. So how's things going in your area?
It's just moving along so rapidly. You know, we're getting ready for the intensives, and the work that Michael has been doing for 40 years now is really starting to spread in so many places. He is doing some trainings today and tonight. He's traveling right now, and he'll be gone for the whole week. Jeanie's going to be joining us shortly and give us a little update on some of the things that has been going on in their travels. And here at Heartland, we're just getting ready. There are more people that are coming to visit. And for folks that are just listening for the very first time, if they'll go to the website of www.whyagin.com, they'll see we have several different programs here, support programs for people that want to come and spend anywhere from 30 days to a year or 2 years. Pardon me? Okay.
Hello? Yeah, you keep breaking up here. If you can hear in the chat room, please let us know if you can hear us okay, because we're having some kind of challenge here technically. So can you hear me any better, David?
No, it's the same, Carol.
Same, okay.
Should I hang up and call back in?
Yeah, you want to try that? Hang on, I'm going to let you again, and we'll see if that works.
Okay.
Okay. Well, David's calling back in to get us a connection. Hopefully, everybody can hear me okay at this. And if you do hear me okay in the chat room, please call it. We know. Also, let's see. I think that might be him already here. Let's see.
Oh, that's much
David,
better.
is that you again?
It is me. Can you hear me?
Better. That's better. How about? Can you hear me better?
Well, I was hearing you better when the recording came on. It sounded really clear, and then now it's a little garbled. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I heard you say to the chat room to let us know how we're coming through.
Right. So I think Jeanie is here with us too. Let's see if she's there. Well, there we go. Jeanie, is that you as well?
Hi, Carol. Hi, David.
Hello,
hi.
I had to call in twice as well, so it must be the station. It was like real tinny sounding the first time I called in, and but I can hear you both pretty clear right now. I'm still on the road traveling, so mine might be a little noisy, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll just do the best we can. You just go with it with the flow.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
That's right.
It's much clearer now. It's much clearer. So what I was, in reference to your question, Carol, and I was just letting folks know that if they wanted to go to the website and check out the website and the different programs that we offer here, we are getting ready for some intensives, and we have some programs where people can come and spend from 30 days to 2 years, and depending on what level they want to do their work, and getting ready for the intensive. So we're all geared up here, and that's what's going on this end. And as I said, Michael and Jeanie have been traveling so much and opening the space. And I talked with Michael a little while ago, and Jeanie may want to jump in and make some comments, that they did a mini workshop or mini intensive this weekend. And as I hear, Jeanie, that you guys were busy till 10 o'clock last night, 10:30 last night.
Yeah, and it was supposed to end at 6, but Carol was one of their participants yesterday, but we had a good turnout and a good crowd. Saturday we did Getting the Stress You Need and Purpose, Personal Power, and Commitment, and my mind went totally blank what the third one was that we did.
We did a lot, Jeanie. We did a lot. It was a very nice. It was awesome. So
yeah.
It kicked me off, and so I back. So.
Well, Carol, I can hear. Carol, just to let you know, I can hear Jeanie really clear, and when your voice comes across, then it's broken up and staticky. So I don't know what that means.
Okay, I can hear you, but I can hear you both clearly now too.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, it was an awesome 2 day, and we actually have 3 people who we had made an offer for people that had bought so many CDs and everything to get a certificate towards an intensive. And we actually had 3 people that took us up on that. So we're hoping that they follow through and will show up this summer at Heartland. And there's several people during our Florida tour that are thinking of doing the teacher's training. And we have a young lady who has been translating the worksheets into Spanish, and those are now out on the website in Spanish. And she's wanting to come do teacher's training. And so it's like the energy's just building.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I said to Michael and what I admire and appreciate so much in him and in you, Jeanie, is the level of willingness that you guys are and the energy that you are putting in this work. As you said, the workshop was scheduled to complete by 6 o'clock last night and went on to 10 at 10:30. And I know it's began early in the morning, and you guys have been going really full speed for the last couple of months. And I want to invite and acknowledge you guys to in appreciation of what it is that you're doing. And notice, and I was telling Carol, one of the things that I felt to talk about today was this level of commitment and involvement in doing our work. And you and Michael are certainly modeling that, and it's opening up the space for people to learn things at a whole new level that if they're willing to commit and to make some commitments and to keep the commitments, that's where the change is really going to happen. I have something that I'd like to read from the book As a Man/Woman Thinketh. He did put the woman in. This is by James Allen. This is a copy that was made back in the 1920s. And in part of that, what he says is the salt factor in achievement. And it says a strong person cannot make a weaker unless the weaker is willing to be helped. And even then, the weak person must become strong of himself. He must, by her own efforts, develop the strength which she admires in another. But none but himself or herself can alter his condition. And I wanted to put it out to the audience that's listening or listening in on the chat room, and to make an offer that you make a commitment today that this week, just for the next 5 days, that you agree to complete minimum of 1 reality management worksheet. And if you don't know what that is, that's what's called the forgiveness worksheet. Refer to the forgiveness worksheet, and you can go to the website and download it. And just do one. Just do one every day, minimum of 1 every day. And to do that worksheet on an inanimate object versus doing it on a person. And as an example, let's say that you get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe on a chair, then you would do a worksheet on the chair. Or let's say that you're expecting something from the mail and it doesn't come. Or you open up anything, you go to the grocery store and an item that you wanted, they didn't have it. Then do a worksheet on an inanimate object. Minimum of 1 each day. And we can talk about it each day as you call in if you prefer to, or chat about it in the chat room. And on Friday, we'd like to invite you to take a look at and talk about what it is that you've experienced through that. Because it is through our experience that we learn. We're doing the talk show here, and this is a mind shifter, and the purpose of this show is for people to shift in their mind, to literally shift the way that it is that they're thinking, of what it is that they're thinking about and how it is that they see that. There's an expression, I can't do something I don't know if I keep doing what it is that I do know. And so if I keep doing the same thing, that's the other definition of insanity from Einstein is, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expect to get different results. So the thoughts that we have each day, if we're still holding on to those same thoughts, we're going to create the same feelings, the same action, the same behavior, and the same results with them. So we're inviting folks to play this little game just for this week to commit to doing a minimum of one worksheet. And what does that worksheet look like? What is it about? And it is about shifting the way that it is that you see things in your mind. And that is really where we see everything is through the filters of our mind. So just checking in with you, Carol, is there anyone in the chat room that has any questions or something that they may want to talk about today?
No, we don't have anybody in the chat room that's got questions yet, but we do have a caller here. So would you help in on this?
Okay.
Let's see if I can get the switchboard here.
Okay.
Area code 424.
Okay. And what's your name and where are you calling from? Beg your pardon?
Hi. I think we hear their computer. They need to turn the computer down. Area code 424. Are you there? Okay. We're gonna. Oh, they hung up. Okay, so maybe they were just listening or something.
Maybe they'll call back here. Yeah.
Right. So.
Okay. So let me just talk a little bit about the reality management. It's empowering true forgiveness. It's a tool to be able to use. And with the language that we use and what reality is, we've all been taught that reality is something that's going on outside of us. Now, if that's what it is that we believe, we're going to invite you to take a look and to see it differently, that reality really is what it is that's going on in your mind. And there is actuality, and that's what's really going on out in the world. What we see is not what it is that's going on. We are only seeing what it is that is in the content of our mind. That when we see something, it's reflected, it's firing brain cells in our mind and making an image in our mind of what it is that we're seeing. Now, that's a big piece to get about that. Doesn't make sense because we've been so taught that everything is going on outside of us, that it doesn't have anything to do with us. I believe, and most people that I've talked with have had that experience that they know that that it's them. It's kind of like if we would ask to take a poll and go along the street and ask people, say, so who's in charge of your life? And if we would ask them, 99% of the people would say, well, I'm in charge of my life. I'm the one that does this. And then the question is, so how is your life going? What is going on in your life? And then when they're asked to take a look and see, well, I don't have any control over that. I don't have any control over the government. I don't have any control over my parents. I don't have any control over this and so forth. And everything is outside of them. And it's true, we do not have control over what it is that's outside of us. What we do have control over is what it is that we're seeing inside of in our mind of what it is that's projecting out there, that it's externalizing. We're projecting it on our minds. And to give you an example of that, it's if there were 6 people that saw an automobile accident, and those 6 people went to court, and they were put on the witness stand and asked what it is that they witnessed, all 6 people would have a different point of view and a perception of what it is that's going on, of the actuality of the accident itself. But theirs is always that way. I've been involved in an accident where that happened, where I was the person that was involved in the accident, and the policeman came there and gathered all of these people. I remember that the one guy was talking, the policeman asked him, said, so what is it that you saw? And he said, well, this guy here ran the traffic light, pointing to not me, the other one. It's like, oh, great. I said to myself, that's really great. This guy's going to be a real good witness for me. And the policeman stopped him. He said, no. He said, tell me what it is that you saw. what color was the light? And he had him describe everything that was going on, because the policeman knew that he was just giving it coming from his opinion and his perception of what it is that he saw. When he started just talking about the facts about what it was that was going on, then everyone was to be able to get a clear picture. And interesting enough, within the person that actually did go through the traffic light when it was on red, and notice that's different than saying he ran a traffic light. He went through the light while the light was red. There's a difference of accusing someone of something that this person acknowledged, yep, that is what I did. So it was kind of interesting. So reality and actuality, it's totally different. What we're seeing, and it's been proven that what we see in our mind is not what's actually going on out there. So learning this language, learning this new way of seeing it, remember what I was saying at the beginning of it, that as long as I can't do something I don't know if I keep doing what it is that I do know. I can't see something differently if I don't change what it is that's what my brain content is having. And that's what the forgiveness is about. That's what this tool is about, is to be able to go in and to let go of the way it is that I see it. Now, also we're talking about seeing things coming from a couple of filters. They've been shown that there's 3 filters that are in the mind. There's a filter of fear, there's a filter of hostility, and there's a filter of love, what within the Aramaic language was called Rahma. And we see everything through those particular filters. And if we're in anger or hostility, then what it is that we're seeing is going to be coming just from what it is that registered in our brain cells, that we have a memory of something that's showing up in the mind. So the purpose of this is to be able to use this worksheet to go in and to not change what it is that happens. We can't change what it is that happened. I think that's probably the biggest challenge that people have, that they want to change what has happened. You can't change that. You can't change that. You can't do it differently. It's already been done. But what we can do is go in and change the energy that we have surrounding that, so that then we get to let go of and be who it is that our true essence is. And speaking of true essence, go ahead.
No, as you said, absolutely. So it's wonderful. It's because, like you said, you can't change anything. So what you have to do is change your perception, change the way you're feeling about things. That's the only thing that you can change. So you do have a caller here as well.
Great.
Let me bring this on.
Is it a caller from 423 or 424?
It's 417.
Okay.
Area code 417.
Like Missouri. Who is that? Is that you, Terry?
Hey, David, yes. I was on right at the start, and it was real, like I was experiencing the same thing you guys must have been experiencing. It was very, garbled and disconnected and all that kind of stuff. So I just stepped off, came back in, and whatever it was cleared up. So I'm just here as support for the dialogue.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
Good. Well, thank you so much for your support. And Terry is the project manager, entrepreneur. I don't know. What are all the titles that you have for being here at Heartland? Terry is a resident here at Heartland, and he's visiting his family back in North Carolina right now. And that's a wonderful thing about the technology, that we all get to stay connected in this way with it. So thank you for your support. And have you got some thoughts about what we talked about so far, Terry?
No, it's good stuff in alignment with what we had talked a little bit about last night, and inviting the folks to do their one worksheet a day for the next 4 days, and Friday check in and share that experience with us. Yeah,
to see what it is that we can, what you would like to create differently. Just take anything small with that. And, the whole idea of it is, and I don't know how this would work through the technology of it, is to then, email us, to send us through the chat room that if you commit to doing this, just put it in the chat room, okay, I commit to do this for this week, and put What's your name? We're not going to, if you wanted us to contact you, well, then we would do that. And each day that you complete it, let us know. Email us and let us know that you've completed your agreement, that you have kept that. So it's so important that we keep our agreement. To the degree that we're willing to keep our agreement and trust ourselves, and that's what this is really about, it's about trusting ourselves. To the degree that we're willing to keep our agreement, to the level of integrity that we keep it, is the level of that would determine our life, of how it is that we do. Because you know how it is that all of a sudden, who do we trust? Are we trusting the government, our family, the people out there? Or are we going to go in and trust ourselves in tapping into that intuitive part of us of who it is that we are? Have you ever said that you're going to do something and then you don't do it, and then you come up with all of the rational lies of why you didn't do something? And there's really, is it okay to do it? Yes. Is it okay to not do it? Yes. And you want to be able to start trusting yourself that when you make a commitment to do something, that you keep that commitment. That's how it is that you start to build it and know that it is you that is the one that's responsible and accountable for that. And we're here to support you in doing that. So the MindShifters group is about that. It's about how can we support you, and how do you want to be supported? And are you supportable? You can't support anyone unless they're willing to be supported. And that's kind of like back to what I was talking about with James Allen when he says, a person cannot help another person unless the other person is willing to be helped. And even then, that person must become strong in himself and must, by his own efforts, develop the strength which he admires in another. Meaning that, we want to be able to do this. How do we do this? How do we get that support and make that happen? So by us supporting you and you supporting us, then we all evolve and grow with it. So is anyone in the chat room yet, Carol, is saying, yes, I'm signing up to do this?
No one yet. We have people in the chat room. They're listening. They haven't. No one signed up yet, but it's still time. We still have 37 minutes to go, so we definitely have time. Is Jeanie still with us as well? Okay.
She might be going in to get on her computer. She was traveling, so she may have gotten off of there to get on there. And so I invite the audience to notice that what's going on with them is that they're having a conversation. We're always having a conversation in our head. And most of us we're not going to talk about that because, they lock us away with saying that we're having a conversation. And if you'll just step back and notice that as I'm talking to you, then you're having a conversation in your head. And you might say, oh, no, not me. Really? Well, who is that says, oh, no, not me? You're having a conversation. And I can only speak at about 140 words a minute. We hear at about 480, and we think at about 2,000. Actually, I think it's the information now is much more than that. So I can't speak fast enough in order to keep up with your mind. As I'm saying these words, it's triggering and so quickly that it's triggering brain cells in you that you either disagree or you agree with it. If you agree with me about it, you're kind of having a conversation. Oh, yeah, well, that's true, and da-da-da. And if you're disagreeing with me about it, well, then you're having that conversation. And so we're really not even being present for that. So notice what it is that you might be talking to yourself about, why you wouldn't commit to it or why you would commit to it. And that dialogue is what keeps us from doing what it is that we want to do. In the world we've been taught from a very early age that later, it's always going to be easier later, or something's going to come to us later. And there's only the present moment right now. And what it is that we do today is what it is going to determine our tomorrow. Our thoughts and actions, and our thoughts, words, and actions today determine our tomorrow. So and they've proven that 95% of the thoughts that we had yesterday, we're having them today. And 70% of those are, quote, from a negative point of view, like, I don't want this to happen to me, I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose this relationship. I don't want to have this relationship. And notice that those are the things that we continue to repeat, and that's what it is that we're creating more of the same. Our thoughts and our
Sorry,
actions.
David. I keep getting kicked off and having to call back in. So, anyways, you do have a caller on the line as well. So I wanted to bring them on. Area code 702. What is your name?
Hi, Stacy.
Stacy?
Hi, Stacy. And where are you calling from?
Hi. Yeah, I'd rather not get into too detailed. Can I just state my situation?
Sure. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. I apologize. Okay. In my 30s, I just stumbled across your show, and so in my 30s, I realized I was angry and that I suppressed child abuse feelings. And I realized that my adult siblings were detrimental to me. It's like we don't know how to communicate with each other. Out of 7 of us, none of us have a relationship with ourselves, with each other, or a healthy relationship with the parents. I realized I don't have a mother or a father. I have 2 stepmoms. None of them were actually parents to me, though. Now I'm close to my 50s. I'm still hurting, even though I did go through trying to help myself with this stuff. But I'm real sensitive. I'm too sensitive.
So are you breathing?
It's like I grew up with all these people in my household, but now I have no one.
Yeah. So what I invite you to, is it Stacy, did you say? Stacy?
Yeah, but I'm trying to remain anonymous, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, you can make up anything. No one knows who it is that you are. I mean, I just wanted to respond to you with that. I'll call you Mary. How's that?
That's fine.
Anyway, so the whole thing of it is that what I invite you to do is to go to our website, if you have that available for you, to go to the website and download the Forgiveness Worksheet. And again, the Forgiveness Worksheet is about to be able, how do you go in and let go of that anger? See, the only one that can do that is you.
What's the website? I'm sorry, what's the website?
The website is www.whyagain.com.
Oh, so it's in the chat room. They're putting www.whyagain.com. Did you say why again twice? Did you say why twice?
No.
No, just whyagain.com.
Okay, I got it. I'm looking right in the chat room. and I can see it.
Okay. So
I apologize for cutting you off. I just wanted to make sure. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And there's some worksheets there. And download the Reality Management Worksheet. That's called the Forgiveness Worksheet. And just start doing those worksheets. Literally, and there's some instructions there if you want to follow the instructions. And you can do this without having to go to a workshop or anything else. You can do this on your own. These tools were designed for people to be able to do their work on their own. Now, what we've discovered is that the more people that do that and they do them together, there's a certain synergy of energy and vitality that allows us to tap into that and to work through issues. So my recommendation is that you get those and you commit to doing minimum of one of those a day for this week. And stay in touch with us about it, that you're doing that. Now, this is a process that involves a commitment and to doing the work. I know that, I'm from a family of 13 children. So I kind of know what it's like to have a large family and to have these dynamics and the energies that have been passed down. And there's a video that you can watch that you can go to that's called The Ghost of Your Genes, GENES.
And that's on your website?
No, I don't think it's been. I don't think it's been connected to that just yet. It talks about it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. So what we're going to do is
society needs you guys. If you guys aren't in social media, you should definitely be you should be spreading your words, because I mean, it's just limited the people that are talking about this kind of stuff. I've been listening to Roy Masters, but he's kind of erratic. With a calm voice, but erratic. He just goes off in some. He has a lot of great things to say, but it also gets me off track. I don't know. Do you guys know who Roy Masters is?
It's the name sounds familiar, and there are a lot of disciplines, there are a lot of venues out there for people to do their healing work. What we're offering here. There's not a lot of people who understand child abuse and how it fizzles down to your. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know where to go. It's just a lot of people don't understand how it can actually. It ruins your life. You suppress the feelings and it comes out as an adult, and then you're lost with what to do. It's not as easy as just get over it. I don't hear people talking about it.
Well, the thing is, can I help with this one, David? Can I help with this one? Because I have been through sexual abuse when I was a child. So I do understand it. The thing is, you can get through it and you can get past this if you choose to heal it. If you choose to face whatever it is that's inside, do the work of forgiveness, do the work of letting it go. You can change your life. You can change this and not have to carry that around with you.
I don't. Okay, I just have to try to do the work, because I thought I did do the work. Is it also common to fail at it? I mean, it's not, because I just told myself my parents did the best that they could, and I stopped blaming them. But I suffer from an emptiness of not having them and just having to forget my family.
Right.
And them not understanding me. I look like a problem child.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Dr. Ryce talked about this weekend, because I went to the intensity class that him and Jeanie had performed this weekend. Yes, there's stuff that I think we've done the work, and then something else will come up and come back to raise.
It's continuously working at it, isn't it? Oh, I lost you. I don't know if you can hear me.
You have to have the proper tools. Without the proper tools,
right. So what he was saying this weekend is that you uncover what you can handle at that time, and you get through. You use the tools that you have to uncover, to get through that layer of where you are able, what you can handle, and then because what he uses, like on a scale of 1 to 10, you may have your vitality may only be able to handle a 5, but the depth of it is maybe a 7 or an 8. And
I see.
And the thing
I'm really glad I ran across your show. It looks like we have a communication problem where we overtalk each other. So I'm sorry. I'm just desperate to just get some help, the right help, because I'm tired of dealing with it. I just want it to be gone.
Good. So be sorry for nothing. There's nothing to be sorry about. Okay? That's another word that's put out into the language. And one of the things is that when we use those certain words, they trigger certain things in our mind for us to behave a certain word. Sorry is one of those words.
Negative stuff. I am so conditioned with negative stuff from my past and from the way my parents are. It's pathetic, but I'm actually a positive person, so I have to fight it all the time.
Yeah. So I'll invite you to let go of fighting it. That you're going to forgive it. That you're going to let it go, that you're going to let it go. Now, the word forgiveness in the Aramaic language means something different as well as what we've been taught. See, forgiveness of what we've been so inundated with, and it's been put into our on a cellular level, is that, I'll be bigger than you, and I'll forgive you for what it is that you did. That is not forgiveness. That is the Greek's understanding of it and the interpretation that's been passed down to us. See, if I'm hurting and there's something that's going on with me that somebody else did to me, for me to forgive them for what it is that they did to me doesn't relieve how it is that I feel. Have you noticed that doesn't work? Yet that's what it is that we've been taught in this culture, that, oh, we'll just forgive them. And that's how Michael got started on this work, because he went around and he asked people, he said, well, how do you do that? Well, you just forgive them. And no one has talked about it. Yet this man, Joshua, 2,000 years ago, said this is the way that you do this. You must go in and undo that energy. So that's the tools that we offer here. And if a person will commit to do that and to do that, then they will then be free of it. It will not be there. That's the law. That's the laws of the universe. Now, we have not been taught that, because if people can keep people, if you can be kept in fear and hostility, well, then we're easy to control. And so what we want to do is to use the tools in order to let that go. That's the reason that this is not so popular, is because that, wait a minute. No, you know what? If I stop, quote, blaming someone else, or if I start to look at my life differently and I take responsibility for it, then all of this stuff is going to come up. If I don't have the tools in order to properly address that, then all I do is just increase it. That's what I hear you saying. Is that, how do I do that?
It's like spinning your wheels. You're just spinning your wheels. You're spinning your wheels, and you feel so alone. And I just want to say, and then I'm going to get off the line and listen and continue to listen. I have a child and I'm such a family person, and it also will. You have to purposely stop the cycle. And my blessing in life is my daughter saw in me and in my family before I saw what was going on. She stopped going to the fake family functions, and then eventually I saw the light, and I stopped going to the fake family functions, and she made me realize a lot about myself. It's amazing. But then, but I also put it on her, and so you have to make sure your children don't get it too.
Well, you can't. The only way that you can't make sure of that. I'll just let you know right now. That's what that ghost in the genes is about. I turned out to be my parents. You're right, because the harder I did raise her, saying I'm not going to be them, and I am them. So don't think of the color of your car. What did you think about? Color of your car.
Don't do what? Say that again?
So when I say don't think about the color of your car, well, then what do you think about your car? Don't be like your parents. Guess what you're giving instructions to the mind is to be like your parents. That's not good nor bad. And if we don't take a look at that, if we don't go in and undo that and do the proper work around it, then we will continue to create that. Now, we do this program is about, it's an hour long, and we're here every day to support people in doing the work. That's why we're inviting everyone that's listening to make a commitment to do one worksheet, just to do one worksheet. And it could be on an inanimate object. If you want to do more of them, then great, that's fine. Make the commitment to do that. And my recommendation is that, and I'll call you Mary, is to go to the website and maybe order the DVD, Codependence to Interdependence. And this will give you a real good visualization of how it is and why it is that we do what it is we do. The only reason that we do that is because we have the brain cells. It's been passed on to us. And we do not have a choice about behaving that way. Just like when I said, don't think of the color of your car, what did you do? You automatically thought about the color of your car. Until that energy is removed from there.
Even if you can accept the fact that, okay, even if you realize, okay, these behaviors have been embedded in me, I realize that. Right. But to other people, I can't function on the job if there's like if it's I expect people to behave a certain way, the morally rightly way, but a lot of people aren't, and when they don't, and especially in the work environment, I can't deal with it, or if someone's enticing me or hating on me, and then I look like the crazy person, because I react to them. I can't deal with conflict, in other words, and I don't know how to stop it.
Well, you can't stop it. You can do something differently. And the way that you put an end to that is that you learn forgiveness. When you learn forgiveness, then you undo that. You let that go. That's what it means in the Aramaic language. Forgiveness means to let go, to untie. Okay? So as long as you hold it that somebody else outside of you is doing something to you, then that disempowers you. It doesn't take your power from you because your power is your power. It dissociates from who it is that you truly are. You want to get back into your true essence. It's like you were talking about with your daughter. So in one word, you remember when your daughter was born, right? In one word, describe the essence of your daughter.
When my daughter was born?
Yeah, when your daughter was born. Do you remember, holding her and looking at her?
Oh, great. The greatest joy of my life.
So joy. So that's who it is that she was born in, and that's who it is that you were born as, and that's what it is that your parents were born as. Now, what has to happen, though, for it to shift to get to the place of losing that? And that's what this work is about, is so that you can tap back into your true essence of who it is that you are. If you're buying into what the culture believes, that you're all of these other things, then that's what it is that you continue to create. So what we do at the workshop is that we ask, so is there something that you've ever done that you now regret? And how were you feeling when you did that? And a lot of people will say, well, I felt angry or disappointed or guilty and so forth. So then they buy into that's who it is that they are. That's not your true essence. That's not who it is that you are. The forgiveness work is about letting go of all of that. And that's a big job. Most people don't want to take it on.
You're right.
They want to hold on to their belief systems and the way it is. No, well, yeah, but what about them? If they would just change, if they would just do it differently, if they, there's nothing you can change out there. You have to change it inside of you. The only way to do that I've discovered is through this work called forgiveness. That's
yes,
what
you're right. I'm not
at
the forgiveness stage. You're right. I haven't. I told myself, but I haven't done the work to make sure that it's in. I have to embed that in me, the forgiving. That needs to be embedded in me.
All you have to do is learn how to and use the tools. All you have to do is on a daily basis is to use the tools of forgiveness. And there's several other tools that are in there. When you go to the website and you check it out, Michael has made it available for people to download the worksheets. He has different tools for lots of different things. And we can't just cover every tool that we have there. And so that's the purpose of having the MindShifter support groups. You can create a MindShifter support group right in your area, wherever that is. You can start yours without knowing anything about this work.
I should do that.
You can do that, and that will support you in doing your work. And we're doing this radio show every day to support people in doing their work.
Well, I'm going to click follow so I can make sure I get reminders of when you come on. And I see, and you guys have. Thank you. I'm so glad I ran across you.
You're most welcome, and I invite you to bring a friend and listen the next time. Find someone that is on that path with you, that are a similar path. We're not all on the same path. We're on parallel paths going in the same direction. Find someone that will support you in doing your work. Find someone that will support you in letting go of the victimage of what it is that we've been taught in the society. And we're here to support you in doing that. You see, the more that you do that, the more that we all do it, because we're all connected. There's what you have been through and what you're experiencing, as Carol was saying, yes, I know exactly where you're at. You've done that. I've come from a family of 13 children. I certainly know what abuse is, not because there's 13 children, and there was that. My parents, I know, were doing the very best that they could do with the information that they had at the time. We have this information now, though, that we can change everything. We can make it and create it just the way that it is that you're talking about that you'd like to have it. That's the key to it. Well, who's going to do that? There's a lot of people, Michael talks about this, that people talk about, that Jesus is going to do it. Jesus isn't going to do that. Jesus came here to give us tools of how to do that. That's not what he said. Here's the things that you'll need to do. You will have to go in and do your own work. You'll have to carry your own cross, so to speak. This is yours. Your work is to let go of all of the anger, hostility, fear, and everything that's within you. When you remove that, then your true essence shows through. That's who it is that you are.
And it's not enough just to say it. It's not enough just to say it or try to think it. There's actually tools that you should do, right? That's what you're saying.
Let me ask you a question. Has that worked so far?
No, right, exactly.
Okay. So what's the definition of insanity?
No, my point in saying that though is because it's like society doesn't get it. People think they should, once they tell you a certain thing that you should be able to do it. No one tells you, oh, well, you should go here, or you need to do this, or you have tools to do. I mean, and I spread it out in cyberspace now. I let people know. Seek help. You know, children who were born with abuse, you end up growing, you become an adult with abuse. Some of them.
That's right.
Right. It doesn't just go away.
Until that energy is removed, and if people do not understand how to do that, nor have the tools, they're only doing what it is that they were taught to do. Now, I feel certain, since I'm a father, a grandfather, is that my grandchildren also have the same, because it's been proven that every thought that I ever thought, every feeling I ever felt, every experience that I ever had, that child has it in its genetic code. Has it.
Right.
Now, I know that when I heal, there's a law that says when I heal something within me, then it's healed within other people. If you want to heal your bloodline, then you do the work. Somebody's going to have to take it on. Now, that's a big task. And what happens is that most people, when their stuff comes up, they revert right back to doing it the way that they've done it before. That's why we need support of people that will say, okay, did you do this? Are you doing your worksheets? Rather than to buy into another story.
Right. And is the lesson to do the forgiveness also the same as if you feel like I feel like I am a lot like my parents, both of them, both my mom and my dad, and it's not good traits to have.
Yeah. So what's your question to me? Is it what?
Are the forgiveness worksheets the same tools to use for something like that, where you feel so much like your parents?
Yes. Anything that brings up anything other than love, whether it's a person, place, thing, event, time, situation, anything, present, past, future, anything that resonates, anything other than love, joy in your life means that you have an energy in you that needs to be removed. The parent is just the one that's showing us, just like your daughter will show you what it is that you have in you that you haven't healed if you haven't done it, because that's what it is. Have you ever noticed that children, that's what they do? They show us back who it is that we are. Now, they do it unconsciously, especially at a small age, and then what do we want to do? Stop them from behaving or doing what it is they're doing, because they're showing us an energy in us that needs to be removed. And so then we teach them to dissociate from it. They don't know how. Now's your opportunity in order for you to heal. If you want to heal in your daughter, or at least create the space for it to heal in your daughter, you will need to do your work.
Right. Okay.
The only reason I got on this path back in 1984 was because that I was going to a therapist, and she said, well, don't you know, you pass this on to your children. And I made a commitment that day. And I made it I made this commitment to myself, to my higher power. I was by myself, and I said, this is it. This stops. I actually told the therapist all that. So I'm committed to someone else. I said, this stops with me. I'm going to do whatever it takes in order to heal this. Now, that was over 25 years ago, and I'm still doing my work, and I'm still doing my healing, and I still have it. So,
David, we have another call. So
okay.
we're going to have to say goodbye, because and just keep working at it and make these. Thank you.
And check in tomorrow. And check in tomorrow. Let us know how you're doing with it.
I will be in touch. I appreciate your show. Don't worry, I'll be in touch.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
All right. And you still have another caller, Carol? Bye-bye.
We do. We have another caller here.
Okay.
Area code 901. What is your name?
Yes, hi, this is Bernie Kuglin. Hello, David, and I didn't catch, I just spoke with Michael, and he suggested that I call in. So
Nice to hear your voice. How are
Yes,
you?
thank you very much. I wanted to make a comment to the young lady. I was listening in that I had a particular experience with my father when I was young, and that particular experience just had plagued me all of my life. I kept repeating the same emotional trauma around that. And what I have found out over the years of working with the worksheets and the work is that I can now look back at that experience, and I can see the emotion that I had, but I don't feel the trauma. And I have developed a completely new relationship with both my parents internally from what I had growing up with them. And it was the process of releasing that energy, that negative energy that I had within inside me. And so I wanted to let the caller know that you don't have to give up your parents, and you don't have to walk away from the wonderful traits that they did give you, because each parent gives us something, gives us a gift of some kind. The issue is peeling back the layers of our pain so that we can come back and have a completely new relationship with those parents or those people in our lives who mistakenly did not know how to treat us properly.
Very well said. Thank you for being there. That was wonderful.
Oh, you all taught me well. And I wanted to say that if anyone is listening who's in the Memphis area or the 901 area or generally in the Memphis area, we do have a meetup group that gets together once a week, and my number is 901-522-1776, and just leave a message that you are online or you're interested in following up with some of this, and I'll be more than happy to call you back.
Thank you so much for that. And, you're on the website as well. If you go to our website and support groups, within the information on how to contact you is there as well.
Oh, cool.
And for anyone that's interested in creating a support group around, because it is.
It's good to hear you on there.
Thank you. Who is this I'm talking to? I didn't catch your name.
Jeanie.
Oh, hi. Oh, hey, Jeanie. Yeah, I just talked to Michael. He was getting on his flight. When I called a little while ago, and he said, get on the internet. You can tell that I have been a little lax on getting onto the website lately. But this is wonderful.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get off and let somebody else call in then. If there may be some other callers. So, pardon me?
Yeah, we
Thank you.
another caller as well. Yeah.
Okay, let me get off.
Thank you.
Blessings. Keep up the good work. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, and we have about 7 more minutes, and we have another caller. Let me see if I can get this switchboard here. Area code 765. What is your name?
This is Jane calling.
Hi,
Hello.
Jane.
Hello, Lady Jane.
Hello. You're doing a really good job.
Thank you.
I can feel all your enthusiasm. I just really enjoyed it today. I wanted to comment on the girl who you called Mary. We mentioned, or you mentioned, about the worksheets, but going on there's so many other things that are helpful, like the tapes, the DVDs. There's just a wealth of information, and what I also want to invite her to do is to come to a workshop, because she can find out where they are and get so much more. And then come to a retreat, because that's what I did, and I ended up taking teacher's training. And I like what Michael said when he said it takes many brain cells to put this all together, just a brain cell at a time. So if it seems confusing, it will clear up. So I wanted to mention that to her, and mention to you that I'm enjoying your show, and you're a great guy. So thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Jane, in which you know that that's what you're doing, is building the brain cells. By you playing that game, and so far Jane has done over 600 worksheets over the past
3 months.
120 days, last 3 months. And so to get an idea of what it takes, and commitment, the level of what it takes in order to make that happen. So, there's something that I wanted to mention. We've been talking about this passing down from generation to generation to generation. And I did a workshop years ago that I had a realization, and as soon as I acknowledged this, as soon as I looked at it this way, now, what I'm saying is just another way to look at it, rather than, the way that I have been looking at it. What if you chose your parents? What if they didn't choose you, that you chose your parents? How would your life be different? How would you have to look at everything then? And, Michael talks about that he kind of thinks that we're our own grandpa type thing, that we're our own, that we keep coming back as our own heritage. And that's another way of looking at it. See, we look at it one way or the other. We either look at it that our parents chose us or that we chose our parents. When I looked at it that I chose my parents, everything shifted the way that I perceived all the relationship. Now, that didn't mean that everything was okay, or nor that all of the stuff was let go of. And were there some things that my parents did that were inappropriate? Absolutely. And you know what? They were doing the best that they could with the information that they had. They had a power person, just like what Michael talks about in the codependence to interdependence. And that's the video that I would recommend for Mary to watch, because he shows an illustration of how this is passed on genetically, and that what we can do in order to shift that. So when we take it from the point of view that, wow, I chose my parents, what does that mean that I would have to do then? If I chose them, geez, that changes the whole ball game with it. And you know what? That's the work. Change the perceptions, the way it is the reality that I hold in my mind versus the way that it's actually going on. So do we have any more callers there, Carol?
No, you have about 2 minutes left, so no, there's no more callers.
Okay, well, I will invite folks once again then to make a commitment that you're going to do a minimum of one worksheet every day this week, and that you're going to contact us and let us know that you've completed that. If you want to make a change, if you want to see some different results, you will have to do something differently. That's the only way that you can create a new result. That's it. So make the commitment, do that. Go to the website, check out. If you're interested in coming to an intensive, get some of the material, listen to it. There's Building the Brain Cells game if you want to connect with Building the Brain Cells game, which, again, you just go onto the website and take a look for games and Building the Brain Cells, and it'll explain it. And if you have any questions about anything, just give us a call. Contact us through the email. I know that, our purpose here with this program is to trigger and to stimulate some brain cells in you and some questions. We want you to question what it is that we're talking about here. That way, then you have an opportunity in order to see things differently. That's what this is all about. This is, some people say, well, that's another belief system. This isn't a belief system. Believe nothing that I've said. Believe nothing that Michael says. Do the work yourself and have the experience yourself so that then you can create what it is that's the truth. You'll be able to see the truth then. When you remove all of the hostility, fear, and anger, and I like what Verdi said it earlier, that we can't see the wonderful things in our parents because the 9-bit mind is so full of everything else. I bet I'm close to being off, though. How much time?
Yes. Yeah, it's about time to say goodbye. So, Jeanie, have a safe trip. Go to whyaden.com and find out what Jeanie and Michael's schedule is. They're going to be traveling all over, doing workshops and intensities. So please check them out. You'll love it. And have a wonderful week. So thank you, David.
Thank you, Carol.
So blessings, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.